everybody. My name is Marty Mangello, and I'm coming to you today from the United States Presidential Service Center. I recently had the opportunity to interview one of the most well-known investors worldwide, especially for impact investment, Mr. Keith Allman. I think one of the nice things was actually just getting a chance to talk with the author of the textbook assigned for our class. Mr. Allman literally wrote the book on impact investing, and in fact he's written several books, so you'll see his name across the world regarding impact investment, and it's pretty amazing to be able to contact him and interview him as the author of the textbook for our class. So I'm attending Lenoir-Rhyne University, and this particular class was on social fundraising. One of the neat things about Mr. Allman is he, of course, went to college and got bit by the Let's Change the World bug. So that is where he's coming from. But whether he immediately then, with his degree, and he does have a master's degree, by the way, moved to Switzerland to live there and work for Bamboo Finance, or you see him and listen to him walking through Africa, interviewing people about how they would like to be able to turn their lights on at night, is pretty amazing. So he's got a great cross section of diverse experiences, and now we can find him in Boston at Loomis Sayles in an ivory tower. One of the big driving reasons behind Keith's focus on social impact and impact investment really is to change the world. And very interesting, he mentioned to me that when the social impact is built into the company or built into the product, that it is super, super, super awesome. A good example of this is the best project he ever worked on. And this is called Greenlight Planet with Sun King. So this is where you have the lights that can be put up inside a home in Africa. And they do come with a light switch. And so this obviously illuminating the earth and illuminating the world and bringing light to Africa is pretty awesome, isn't it? The way sometimes that people like Keith view value is in the short term, he has told me, even if the company is losing money, they sometimes still get funded because in the long term, they are able to make money. So I found that to be quite interesting. Almost amazing that he would admit to that, you know. But it is quite refreshing to see how they view long term and short term. The management of risk in investments, with Keith sitting on the committee, the ESG committee, so that is environmental, social, and governance, is pretty interesting. He mentioned on that committee that one of the things they do to evaluate risk is put it through one of their best ratings, which is an MSCI rating. And this is where it's rated from AAA to triple C. So up or down, it could be better or worse. And the rating was originally developed when I did my research on it from Morgan Stanley, and now it's just called the MSCI rating. But originally this was the Morgan Stanley Capital Investment rating. So the MSCI is an excellent rating system that is used, and it will provide to you a number of factors that they're evaluated on, and invaluable rating and why they got that rating. And then, of course, you know, from there, you are honestly able to make a better decision for this investment. A lot of the ways that Keith finds his investments is literally through his job. He works at Loomis Sayles, and so they are constantly investing in all types of different funds and ventures and opportunities. And working in an ivory tower in Boston, as one of the most noted investors in the world, and consultants to help you with an investment, that even if you're just looking at it, His company is quite famous. The way Keith views the future of impact investment is quite unique. He mentioned to me that there is a lot of capital out there, and for viewers examining this, if you are also studying from one of his 6 books about investing, you may be surprised to hear that return is a big thing, and some people might experience lower returns than they had planned. But with impact investment, the future of it is obviously to continue to spread it on Earth. The big things that he did express to me for the future of impact investment is you may begin to experience lower yields and duration for getting your money back. He felt that is going to become a big thing moving forward. It may not be 5 to 7 years any longer. People might need more term to bring more profit. And I think we see a lot of that, honestly, because if you buy a home, it's usually a 30-year mortgage. On an SBA loan, particularly if it's a 7A or 504, you may have 20 years typically is the average term to repay. If you're an expert, a subject matter expert like myself listed with the SBA, then you can get preferential term of 25 years. But really term sometimes, which Keith mentioned as duration, is where you can get big yield. So if it's 40, 50 years, man, the client is paying. I would also be remiss today if I didn't mention Keith is extremely proud in his book Impact Investment. He mentions one project, and that is actually Greenlight Planet, which is worth today almost $60 million, he told me. And that would be the poster child for the best impact investment in history that he's ever done. So please take a look at Greenlight Planet. In closing, I would like to say that my biggest surprise, impact, and takeaway from this interview was he related to me how people would walk 2 to 3 miles to a phone charging booth just to charge their cell phones up for the day and pay an exorbitant amount of money. This is when Keith was walking and working in Kenya, Uganda, and India. When they developed this solar-powered system that could be put into people's huts or homes or in villages, it was pretty amazing because it's solar power and it's free. You'll see that at Greenlight Planet. It's the Sun King 120 if you go to greenlightplanet.com. And it was really shocking to hear him say that the little subtleties in things, when an impact investment has the impact built into the product, can occur. And if you just get out there and talk with people, is where he found out that it was great to have your home lit up at night and to have light finally every day, even though there's no power sourced with electrical lines coming to your village. That's great. But one of the things that people specifically wanted was to have a switch that they could touch with their finger for each light. And it made them feel at home, like they had real lights like everybody else. And so they had to go back to the drawing board and build the product so that it would have a switch available to each of the 3 lights. And so that's pretty amazing research of what people really want versus the investor or the investee thinking they're delivering something that's close to what people want. That was just shocking to me to hear his research and how they became a success.